so we're all set up except the control system needs to be built. Okay, we're not all set up at all. The control system needs to be built. I need to build about 4, 5, 6 different silos and lines coming out of that. I've got loads to do, and now that all the silos are full, I've genuinely got no time left to do it. I need chests, I need hoppers, and I just need so much time and space and organization. All these skills that I don't possess. Okay, we'll check the iron deposits to see what we're already rocking. We've already got some iron. As far as wood, we've got an infinite supply of wood, so we can make chests to our heart's content. That's not an issue. The main problem that I've got is just understanding what to do with the goods once I've got them, because I need them to be somewhere accessible by the machine. I need to make little silos for them. I need space to do that. So, I don't know, a lot of work and very little time to do it. I don't like seeing it saying system loaded with silo 3 and 2 lit up. Maybe for now the right thing to do is just do the manual unload. I think that's probably the right thing to do. I can get rid of things like the arrows easily, and I can just put other things like in temporary storage. See this? I was getting myself ready for some projects. Don't remember anything about them. Don't have a clue what all that stuff's there for. Alright, well, that's what I'm going to do for a little bit then. I'm just going to try empty silo 3 manually for a while. Give myself some space and some time to work with so that I can... Because that's going to be complicated downstairs. You saw all those hopper lines, all those hopper chains. They all need somewhere to go, you know? I need to do something with them. And I've got an emerald filter to put in. It's chaos down there. It's chaos. Lots of work. Lots of work. Alright, catch you in a bit. Finally made a bit of space in silo 3. As you can see, it's not a great deal of space. There's still an awful lot of stuff here. But it should at least be enough space to get the machine working again. So if we go look at the lights, sure enough, silo 3 now has space in it. And so it shouldn't be too long of running it before silo 2 switches off. Once that's run into there for a while, it should have some space, in which case everything will start moving again. But it won't be long before it shuts itself down. You know, we've only made about a chest's worth of space. So I'll run it for a while anyway. Let's just try get some things through, and I suppose I'll sort this out while I do that. Yeah, not much fun in this process for a viewer, except for this part here, where you get to have a nice look around at how things are going. You can see the outline of where I'm trying to build to. Yeah, quite a nice view, as you can see. I hate doing roofs. That roof needs to get torn down off that pink house. That's horrible. That roof needs to get torn off. That's horrible. That roof over there needs finishing. That needs a roof. God, I hate roofs. Don't even get me started on this massive thing. Sure enough, I've just come to check on it, and the light has turned off at silo 2. Excellent. So we've finally got some flow moving through the machine. It's up to about this point right now. That's great news. The system is finally moving. So next step is just chill out and let things run through for a while. The next few days were basically spent just watching the machine, maintaining it, emptying the silos and making sure that the filters were all running effectively. At one point I had a zombie outbreak. That was a bit upsetting. And after a while, my first brown egg appeared from the chicken that we rescued on the latest mission. So I threw it. And it turned into not one chicken, not even 2, not even 3 chickens. There's actually 4 chickens in that one egg. Phew. I had forgotten how much work this automatic machine is to keep up to date with. But finally I've made... oh, just as I say I've made space, it looks like it wants to fill up. Actually, that will be unstackable items, I imagine, passing in. Recently I've had to play with the strength of the redstone signal going through there. So whenever we get unstackables, I imagine now on that shorter frequency that I've put it on. Oh, not that chest that's filling up. Yeah, it'll have been these saddles, I imagine, popping in. So we've still got a couple of chests. As you can see, I've not done a great job, but we've still got an absolute chest monster of stuff that I don't know what to do with. But we've got a couple of double chests of space. So things can start to move through the system, which is all we really need. These guys literally incapable of doing their job. This was my first version, my first attempt at making one of these. You can see we've made quite a mess of it. I didn't know how to get a block on top of the note block without preventing a sound. Maybe I can do that with leaves. If not, this system does work. Yes, that's right. The water got a little bit messed up. I don't quite know how that happened, but in future iterations of this thing, I'm going to have to make sure that that flow of water is nice and flat and even, because as you can see, it's bending in towards the hoppers, and I think that might be what's caused these guys to get stuck. So there were 6, we're down to 3 now, and they're not great at the job as a 3-man, to be honest. But regardless, I think every one of these hoppers is full. All the way down. Certainly these chests are full now, aren't they? Oh no, okay, we've got some space. Well, you're letting a lot past, guys, so do your job better, please. Chicken, we've got the chicken going through at the minute. Excellent. Nice big stack of chicken. Oh, now it's bamboo. It was chicken and now it's bamboo. Excellent. Yeah, you can see it flickering through there. The bamboo always gets priority because it's pretty much constantly coming down. It's basically a bamboo machine with added extras. So that's excellent news. We should be able to see it flickering through. This is the old bamboo silo, which now has got a conversion on it, so none of these get filled up anymore. This is literally just a chain, a hopper chain now rather than a silo. This is the one storage that we've got, and then the rest of it gets filtered straight under into these 2 hoppers. Yeah. While the filter system's on, I can't really go very far. The filter itself is massive. I was just studying it on the map. There's the doctor's office. It comes all the way up to the edge of there, and then it comes out all the way to here, and then all the way down, and that's where the 3rd silo is. But the filter itself is all the way over here as well. So it comes in, there's the factory, look, it comes in this direction, comes to about here, then goes this way, and then comes up to all of this water system here, carries on all the way up to the doctor's office. So it's a huge section. We've got to imagine it's about the size, if I'd aligned it correctly, it looks like it's about the size of a map square. I don't know how many chunks that is. Looks like either 3 or 4 chunks. 3 or 4 by 3 or 4, something like that. Not 100% sure. Now then, the interesting thing is, we know that when we're standing here, the tree farm only grows the first couple of trees. So from here, these are dead, right? If there was any filter over here, that would break. If we had it turned on and we were standing over here, these chunks aren't loaded up, but this one here is, right? So we could technically make the system go all the way over to here. We're not going to, because if we were standing over here, you know, fixing something or checking something out, this side would shut off. We've got to be standing in the middle. So we need a bit of space on each side. That makes perfect sense. Everything's happy. Now, looking at that and looking at the way it's working and how close we are to the edge and how badly aligned we are, I thought when I make my mega base, I am currently making silo 5 here. We were planning on extending this direction because this is where the zombie spawner is and there's all this space that we can expand, and this looks great. But that's great for expansion for the villagers because we need the villagers now to move away from this area. So villagers are still going to move in that direction. Makes perfect sense. But I think my super mega factory should probably be this square because that lines up with the zero road. So the zero road will run straight into the middle of the factory itself. We'll have a great amount of space. It's obviously, you know, I've got my sponges and whatever else I need now, so I can do whatever I need to do there. Hopefully it won't cast a shadow over the map square because that would be upsetting. Yes, lots of future plans in this area, but for now we need to work on this silo, and the idea of this one is it's going to be the main storage before the second filter system. The control panel is going to be there, which means we'll be able to filter all around this area presumably, which means we'll be able to send things over to the enchanters. We'll be able to send and receive from the bee farm potentially. We'll see. But for now, we're just going to work on getting this silo up and running. And the first step of that is to get an awful lot of wood and make an awful lot of chests. As much iron as we can. As you can see, I've already made some. I think it's 5 per stack, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we've made another stack. So we've got nearly a stack and a half. Hopefully there are no more zombies down here to deal with. Everybody's looking pretty healthy. I wish you'd all find your way outside. It's upsetting me that you're down here. There's a hole here somewhere. Look here. Can't you just find this hole, guys? Why do you all come downstairs so much? Alright, well, anyway. Okay, so I've already laid out my boxes. Past me has put down the secondary box. And look, we were down to our last 3. We've got redstone torches, it looks like we're out of. And I don't... Oh, yeah, that'll be for the next filter. I wonder if I've got every type of wood there or if I'm missing something. Have we got the white stuff? Yeah, we got the white stuff. We've got the pink stuff. We've got the red. We've got the green. And then we've got some normal looking ones. Yeah, it looks fine. Okay, so for now I'll just chuck some of these down here because we don't need them all. There is power going down the red line, which means that this filter is turned off, which is allowing power to come through here, but no power is being allowed through because this line, which is what we're supposed to be working on today. So before I take all my things over, okay, so this is where the bows end up, and this is obviously where I'm going to have my automatic dispenser making machine, which I'm going to be very proud of if it works. So it's going to be cobblestone and redstone that we're looking for. I assume it's these two. No, that's feathers. Okay, I obviously had a plan for them as well by the looks of it. Where? I've upset myself. Right, here we go. Cobblestone, redstone. These two are these two. 100%. They come down past this filter. Don't ask me how to build this. You're going to have to look up a tutorial. All I do every time is just copy one that already exists in my world. Alright. We're saying it's these two. Why is that one down a level? We want to bring them here. That's the first thing. It feels like there was probably a reason. That's the upsetting part. Okay, so the problem with building filter chains is that you need a destination before you start them. You need to start at the back and work your way forwards. For now, we're just simply gonna pop them in here. For now, we're just going to pop 2 chests next to each other like so. We're going to do the crouch thing, and all the way down, we're going to make sure that the hopper chain just stays straight. They can sit next to each other, that's fine, as long as they don't go into each other. And one more. Done. Right, now then, provided my calculations are correct, all the saplings should be going into this line, which I believe I've dug all the way through the mountain, but I haven't finished off. But it's got plenty of space here to be collecting saplings, so we don't need to worry about that. These 2 lines should be just overflow, because both redstone and cobblestone are already taken out of the system earlier. However, just putting those 2 little lines in, those 2 baby little lines in, has taken over a stack of hoppers, meaning the ones that I've got left to go, and I could do with digging all this out so that this has got somewhere to go. This needs a silo, definitely. For now, I think if this is literally just flint and leather's not something that comes down here very often because I'm not harvesting it at present. So I think I can get away with building little silos for each of them, but again, I'm going to need to make some more hoppers before I can even begin. So back to the hopper grind, I guess. Back to making hoppers. I've managed to make 1 and a bit stacks of hoppers, and that is now all of my iron depleted. You might be asking why, instead of doing massive hopper chains, I don't just use water streams more often. And I'm not going to lie, I ask myself the same question all the time. I could easily hack down an awful lot of these hopper streams and just turn them into water streams instead. And I am using water streams in certain places. I just don't particularly trust them. There's always a chance that something tragic can go wrong with water streams. And so I don't get very liberal with them. Again, look at that villager. How is he gonna... He's got his head through the floor. He's never getting out of there. What can I do with this? I need to work out where that's going to be, maybe? Okay. This is where the bones are. At the minute, if we pull this lever, or lever, and we wait a few moments, and then we get scared, we turn it off because we don't want to empty the thing, you'll see that bones start falling out. That is what we call a manual request line. I've got one for my sugar as well. Now what I'd like to do is the same thing, but automatic, for all my future machines that do auto crafting. Oh look, they're having babies inside the... That's not... I'm going to pretend I didn't see that. It's going to confuse all kinds of things. What was I saying? I need my machines to be able to do this and request goods. And one of those machines is going to be the concrete machine. The concrete machine is going to have to request this bone meal. So I need to know where that hopper is going to be, I guess. Which is at 14... 15... It's at 15, 360. Okay, that's where the hopper's going to go in. So 15 is obviously in this direction, quite a ways. 15, and then 360 is over here. So it's in that direction. So I've got to dig all this out. I can't even lay a line until... Oh, God. Right. All right. I mean, this is cheating. It's lazy, and I'm gonna have to very quickly come back and fix it. But at least it's universal. All the things that we've made so far are just a hopper stream into a chest, which is, you know, easy for me to create some kind of blueprint to lead out of that. These can go left and right. Those ones can turn a corner. These ones can even go back on themselves, actually. We can go straight down and back on ourselves if we have to. So we're not blocking ourselves in. You've got to think of Snake. Do you remember the game Snake? Where, like, if you go in a certain direction, the next thing you know, you've blocked yourself in. Alright, guess I'm gonna have to dig out at least a reasonable portion of this now. And again, I'm scared of setting my beacon up in case I, like, speedily smash through something that's on the other side of it, like a redstone contraption. So I'm just gonna do it the slow way. Well, I was definitely right about the beacon. The more I dug out, the more dangerous it got. I was dropping, like, sand from the ceiling, and there's all kinds of things above us that I had to worry about. I've excavated around this area a little bit so that we've got room to put in a shut-off valve, right? So I'm not building anything new here. It's not anything that I haven't done before. But before I get started on that end, we need a destination, because that's the way the hoppers work. We need the destination. So we're just going to cover this up because this has got all water. That's the bottom of my berry farm. And I'm going to cover it up with yellow wool so that if I ever uncover it in the future, there'll be the yellow wool and I won't dig down any further, you know. And just over here, a couple of other blocks, I think. Yep, just there. And one more right there. Excellent. Right. Now that that's safe, I'm thinking about this hopper line that I've got. I think that was lazy of me to just put the one in, and it's only going to make things more difficult later. We've got the space to put another one in right next to it, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to make this line come out and run alongside it parallel. So that means that we'll have the first hopper, the first silo will have its entry point here, and the second one will have its entry point like here but further over, and then this line will come down here. As we progress, we'll be progressing downwards, so the machine that we build that takes things, harvests from these, will be below the surface. These two lines, I know it's only one line right now, but there will be two, as I just mentioned. These two lines can just continually fill these chests. However, this one, I want to do something similar to what I've done with the sticks, because the bone blocks, once they've filled up all that's necessary down here, they turn into bone meal and start harvesting other things at the top. There's a machine that automatically turns on once that gets bone meal, and it only gets bone meal when the bone stack's full, and the bone stack will never fill if it's constantly being processed. So we only want bones when they're necessary, and for that, that's going to take a bit of doing, but we don't have to worry about that right now. What we need to worry about right now is just building 3 small silos, exactly the same as that style there, that can run in these lines, one there, one here, and one from that direction. So that's the next step that I will get on with now. I've now made 3 cute little silos. They should be big enough. One for gravel, one for sand, and one for bone blocks. The 3 ingredients that we need for white concrete. Now, the bone blocks obviously need an extra step, which I could place in here. I could turn them into bone meal in this section. I haven't placed in the last hopper yet, because as soon as I do, bone blocks are going to start funneling out. So we need to make a circuit, and as you can see, I excavated This is actually where the bone blocks are getting sent in. So we can't go that direction, so we're going to have to put the circuit in this section. And now let's talk about the circuit itself. We'll use green. It can touch that. Is that going to block me from getting in? Not yet. I have to dig my stairs out again in a second. This line needs to go this way. I think we need power to come that way. Will redstone sit on that with the half slab there? I haven't brought any with me to check it. Right, down, down, down. Ah, can't have it next to the hoppers. So let's move it over one. Looking good so far. Can go down, 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 down. This is the signal going in. So as long as we've got space for a repeater somewhere within the 15 blocks, we're good. And we're going directly into the hopper that will sit on top of that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If I remember rightly, that's the length of the signal. We can no longer have the torches there because that's where the redstone's going to sit, sorry. So the torches will have to sit under there, and taking them out made me realise that it's now night time, so let's quickly go to bed. Right, this green line that's coming down here is going to ask this hopper, do you have anything in you? So we need to dig that one out because that's where the comparator will sit. The comparator wants to go flat, it doesn't go uphill, it sends a signal flat, and then we can go uphill if we want to, and then up again. But the signal coming out of this, how big do we want it to be? 4 blocks of signal coming out of there. That will set the system off. That will send a signal down this green line, and the signal will stop the hopper sending, which means we'll have a decent amount of overflow, so anything that's already in the system will still have plenty of room here to stack up. And then in the future, the call systems will be below here. It'll essentially be the same thing. So now all I have to do is lay the line. We need a comparator, a few repeaters, and some redstone dust. Comparator comes out because that's checking the signal, and then we want some redstone dust to represent the length of the signal. 4's fine, and then we want to go into repeaters from here, and I like to go every sort of 10 or 11 because I forget if it actually is a strength of 15, but this thing sends a max signal, so from here you can go as far as you dare. After quite a bit of jumping up and down on the spot, I did actually manage to get that piece of redstone in there. So all I've done is laid actual dust all the way down just so that I can show you this trick instead. What we can do is break that and place a redstone torch, and that will show us exactly how long the signal goes before it runs out, and at that point we need another repeater, like so, and we can just check that that goes all the way to the top. Sure enough, it does. And obviously in the future I'm going to have to put in an automatic way of this signal continuing up past the manual lever, so that it's got an automatic switch right from the top. For now, I think I'm happy to just leave that lever as is. So I think we'll pop in this last hopper, which is going to be fun. I can do this. Believe in me. Believe in my skills. I've got this. You just got to line it up just perfect, and oh, I've fallen down. Line it up just perfect, and well, that isn't perfect, is it? Maybe I can... Oh, this is way easier. Why didn't I just do this? Alright, there we go. Hopper installed. There should be probably one piece of bone. Yep, and possibly one piece of bone got sucked through, which may arrive down here eventually. No. Alright, now I just need to replace this, which will allow a few more bones through as I do this, because the signal will switch off now. And so until this collects enough in it to send a signal strength of 4, which will be like a stack or 2, I imagine, this thing should now be working and sucking bone blocks. Oh, there we go. That was worrying me. That took a minute. But yeah, okay, so that's going to absorb all of my bone blocks. Now, these filters should be set up. Everything here is pretty much ready to go. In the future, I can put in the trees. That's what this box is for. So I can get all my tree filters there, and we can put them into a wood yard just there. But you know what? I think we can actually run the system. All I've got to do now is build the control room. So next episode might get quite exciting for me. If you're not interested in this geeky redstone stuff, then it might be quite boring. But for me, this is the most exciting episode yet. My system just expanded for the first time in a long time. Love you. Bye.